Hey, I am really excited to get together with my next guest because I was very intrigued walking along here on the HIMSS26 floor about why Schneider Electric is here. I mean, they're an electrical company. They are true infrastructure. So I was curious to stop in here to find out more about what they're doing in healthcare and specifically how they're talking to CIOs. And lucky for me, I had the chance to catch up with Malcolm Murray from Schneider Electric, and he gave me a full-on education of why it's important for healthcare IT folks to think about the power requirements of everything that we're implementing. I can't wait for you to hear what Malcolm has to say about the fact that infrastructure means a very different thing when you're an electrical organization like Schneider. Let's get to it. Well, Malcolm, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm excited because you are with a company that we don't normally see here at HIMSS,
Right.
Schneider Electric. You're an electrical company.
Right.
But before we dive into what you do, Malcolm, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Tell me about your background in healthcare.
Sure, yeah. So I spent most of my career as a consultant, focused in healthcare on the design side. My background's actually in architectural engineering. So that's my background. I've been working with Schneider Electric in different capacities throughout my career. With Schneider, I've been in roles on our global team as a solution architect, but now I sit on our healthcare strategic accounts team that covers across the US. We work with health systems all over the country, basically supporting them across everything that we can offer them and support them with in healthcare. We are a energy and technology partner, so we aim to work with them and support them through their journey. A lot of that comes with sustainability goals, decarbonization metrics, but increasingly smarter facilities as well, and supporting them as they pursue a lot of these things that you see here today.
So it's funny because we're here at HIMSS, and when we talk about infrastructure and digital health terms, we're talking about EHRs and interoperability. When you guys talk about infrastructure, you're talking true infrastructure, electrical power, management, that kind of stuff. Like that's a whole other level of infrastructure.
That's right, yeah.
Now, you already do a lot of work with hospitals, as I understand it. You actually work with a number of hospitals for their power and for the electrical needs, is that right?
Yes, yeah, correct. So what we're seeing is that a lot of health systems are seeing massive increases in power demand and the expectation out of their facilities operations teams due to a lot of the things that we're seeing here. All the advanced imaging that we're seeing, on-prem AI solutions, edge AI solutions, data center AI solutions that are falling on the shoulders of the IT folks to support and the facilities teams to make sure that they're supporting infrastructure, power, and all that included to make sure that we can bring these things to life.
Yeah, so one of the reasons why I wanted to stop in here, first of all, you have a beautiful booth. That's always attractive to me. Lovely green theme going on.
We love the green.
But I found it initially kind of odd to see Schneider Electric here. I mean, I know you've been here before. I just never noticed them before, but it just seemed odd that you were here. And so I had to stop in because it's not obvious to me how the digital side, the CIO side would get involved with Schneider Electric. Educate me on why you're here.
Right. No, absolutely. So as we walk around this conference, as I was mentioning before, we're seeing a lot of edge AI solutions, data center AI solutions, things that are going to have a massive impact on the electrical infrastructure that we see in the facility. To take a step back, Schneider Electric, again, energy technology partner, one of the world's leading companies in this space. For health systems, that's a critical segment for us, and we work strategically with health systems all over the world, actually, right? So in this new age of continuously advancing AI solutions, advanced imaging, as I mentioned, edge AI solutions, we're seeing advanced integration systems that are going in as well into these facilities. We're looking at how we support them with the enabling infrastructure for all of this. In some cases, their facilities, their grid can't give them any more power, so we need to look at microgrid solutions and how we can generate some power on-prem in order to support them across that whole journey. So when we look at how we engage with health systems, it's really in those three spaces: the electrification, the overall space of smart buildings and building automation, how we leverage the enabling infrastructure in the facility to accomplish these things that they're looking for. And then the other thing, of course, is sustainability at the end of the day, because that decarbonization needs to be addressed as those power loads and energy loads increase.
Yeah, and you were explaining to me before that, a lot of times electricity and electrical needs, power needs, are an afterthought, right? I mean, I got to be honest, when we think about implementing software, we don't normally think about the power requirements that we have. And I was arguing with you, not arguing, but maybe having a conversation with you to say, it's not like the hospitals are implementing tons of GPUs today to do what they need, because they're just going with their vendor on the cloud. But you corrected me to say, actually, there are some things.
No, exactly. If we're looking at edge AI and on-prem AI solutions, things that need to be super low latency, those are things that they're going to need to deploy on-prem. And there should be a strategy around how that needs to actually get done. And we shouldn't be waiting till the 11th hour to figure out, do we actually have the capacity to support this thing, and then pivot at the last minute, which, as we know, pivoting is not easy.
It's not easy to do with that level of infrastructure, right? It's not like you're going to be able to tear holes in the walls and tear holes in the street that quickly. So, and I was just thinking, as you were saying that, there's also the needs for all the other equipment that we're getting more and more sophisticated too, like around intuitive robots for surgical procedures, more CT scanners, more imaging. And as you say, those add load that maybe these buildings and these buildings just couldn't handle before.
Exactly, and there's also opportunity in those cases to think about how we make the facility more intelligent itself. I mentioned that Schneider Electric is a leader in overall building automation and integrated facilities. So we're looking at things. One of the things that we're displaying here is our integrated patient room system, where we sit with a customer and we work through a lab and then deploy a fully integrated patient room along with a new capital build. We can do upgrading their infrastructure. So there's a lot of opportunities to take all of these really smart systems that are going into these facilities and make sure we're getting the maximum value out of them. So the reason that we're here is that we definitely need to be upstream of where we typically sit in this conversation and make sure we're sitting alongside the partners in this space, the other vendors, all of these other solution providers, and work with them throughout this journey from end to end.
Yeah, and I was noticing that on the other side of this panel here, that you've got an integrated solution where people can control their blinds, the lighting, they can get their entertainment. I mean, you've got this sort of truly integrated patient experience module that you got over there. That was not what I was expecting when I walked over to Schneider Electric. How long have you had that, and how does that work?
So that really, that's been around for several years now. That's something that really kicked off with the Penn Med new pavilion project. In fact, our healthcare lead, Brahim Santos, previously was on the facility side at Penn Med. So that's been around for a few years now, and it's been a continuously evolving thing as we engage with more vendors, more partners, more health systems, and we learn more about what are the things that they're looking to actually accomplish, and also keeping up with all the technology that's continuously changing and all of the things that they may be able to even do with all of these new technologies that are going into their space. So we're looking to make sure that we, one, have the underlying infrastructure to be future ready. We don't like the term future proof anymore. We want to make sure we're enabled to be flexible to accomplish whatever needs they have in the future. And on top of that, make sure that we're getting the maximum value out of the technology that they're putting in today.
Well, Malcolm, thank you so much for giving me the education about this. My final question to you is, where can people go to learn more about Schneider Electric?
Yeah, well, definitely go to se.com. We do have a healthcare page where you can set up some time to connect with the healthcare team and connect with folks in our organization. As I mentioned before, we have people across the country that specialize in healthcare. I myself focus on California. I have counterparts all over the country, so you can get in contact with any of us and we'd be happy to get engaged.
Awesome. Well, Malcolm, thank you so much for being on the program and for educating me on why Schneider Electric is here.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, I really want to thank Malcolm for joining me on camera and giving me that education on what the company does and all the different things they actually do here in healthcare. I was really fascinated with the thinking that they're putting into making sure that in the future that we have the power we need to implement all the applications, the potential on-prem need for near-term or zero latency AI, and of course, all of the applications in imaging that we have, as well as robotic surgeries, and the power requirements that that's going to put on our facilities. So thank you again to Malcolm and to Schneider Electric for letting me come in and bother them with a lot of questions about why they're here. And hey, if you made it this far in the video, we would really appreciate it if you mash that like button and click subscribe. Also, head on over to healthcareitttoday.com where you can find more great content like this. I'm Colin Hung. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.